Welcome back to the Rockies franchise on MLB The Show 21. Here in Season 4, we are on the road to Rocktober with a 62-52 record. And this is going to be the 4th episode now of the week. And we'll conclude this 2-week stretch where we're facing the Dodgers, Cardinals, and Padres, all teams that could end up in the playoffs. We've been through our struggles against the Dodgers already. We've only beat them 3 times this year, but we haven't done much better against the San Diego Padres, a team that won the World Series in this franchise, I believe in Season 3. Today we have a 4-game series continuing our pursuit of the postseason, and John Means will get us started with a ground ball hit to third base, and Rafael Devers has an issue with it. It's an error on him. Ha-Sung Kim safe at first and takes off with the pitch in the dirt, and already a runner in scoring position. Last time we saw John Means, he was taking a no-hitter into the 7th inning against St. Louis. I think he's been a strong addition for us. After the strikeout of Trent Grisham, here's Fernando Tatis Jr., and that just missed. 2-2, Tatis fouling off pitches. This has happened to Means in the starts he's had. He gets into these long at-bats and it runs up his pitch count. And Tatis hits a single into center field. Ha-Sung Kim comes around and the Padres score quickly in the 1st inning. Next up, Manny Machado. 1-2 count, and he does go around. Means has surprised me with his ability to get strikeouts here with Colorado. In the 2nd inning, there's a swing and a miss for Alex Dickerson. And then Victor Caratini. Every now and then, we get these at-bats with Means that just never seem to end. And I really didn't like seeing his pitch count get run up so much in the first 2 innings. He ends up walking Caratini. At this point, I began to think about just throw the ball in the zone, let him put it in play, see what happens. And Nomar Mazara grounds it to first. We get a big double play. That's a nice help as we finish off the 2nd inning. Go top 3, Jurickson Profar with a drive to right center field, and Reynolds will chase after it all the way to the wall. Leadoff double for San Diego. Trent Grisham up later with 2 down, and he turns on the changeup. Means missed up in the zone, and Grisham hits a towering blast that just gets over the fence. And the Padres take a 3-0 lead. Not the sharpest start for John Means here with Colorado. Meanwhile, Rockies struggling to get much going against the lefty Ryan Weathers. Here's Elijah Diori. Grounds it past the pitcher, and a nice play made by Tatis gets the out. And a couple batters later, Trey Turner hitting leadoff. He'll go back up the middle for a base hit. He continues to hit over 400 against lefties. But Weathers is really tough. Here's Reynolds chasing one away as Weathers gets ahead in the count. There goes Trey, and that's in the dirt, so an easy stolen base. Trying to bring him home to chip away at this lead. Out in front, Reynolds strikes out. 3 scoreless to open for Weathers. In the 4th inning, David Geronimo's behind in the count and takes the curveball inside and eventually works this count full. The 3-2 is clobbered to left field. High and hard, and not quite enough to leave the park. Padres take this shutout into the 5th inning, and John Means trying to finish this inning, 2 down, but falls behind Ha-Sung Kim and just can't get in the zone. And that would do it for John Means. Not quite 5 innings. Ha-Sung Kim takes off for second and is safe. German Marquez in the game trying to end the inning, but walks Trent Grisham. 2 on, 2 down, and now you gotta face Tatis. Already drove in a run earlier and is a bit late on the 98-mile-per-hour heat. And the 1-2, did he go around? Yes, he did. Marquez with a big strikeout will take us into the bottom of the 5th inning. I was surprised to see Ryan Weathers taken out of the game, but I believe his stamina is a bit lower. And the new pitcher, Adrian Morejon, walks Connor Joe, and then a rocket hit by Diori is caught at third base. Trying to bring home Joe, and Turner grounds to Tatis, and the Rockies just can't get it going. The Dodgers have elite pitching, and so do the Padres. It's really difficult hitting against these teams, and despite our high-powered offense, we've struggled against both pitching staffs. Here in the 6th inning, Reynolds hit a rocket to center field. Geronimo hits one pretty well. There's a whole field out there, and all we do is keep hitting it at the 8 players in front of the catcher. I just can't get over it. That was a frustrating inning to make that good of contact. 7th inning now, 2 on, and Oberg gets Tatis reaching out for the changeup. Count goes even, and Tatis looks at strike 3. Rockies pitching, keeping this game within reach. At any moment, you know this offense can explode. But is the fuse even lit today? We've only managed a few hits to this point, running out of outs. And there's a blast to right field. Brian Reynolds gets us on the board. Curveball left up, and we're ready for that one. Reynolds hits number 18. Now we're only down a couple. David Geronimo next, facing Emilio Pagan. 3-1. Missed inside. And that means Rafi Devers represents the tying run. 1-1. Fouled off the fastball. And Devers behind 1-2. Swung on and missed. What a pitch by Pagan. Right on the outside corner. Not much Devers can do, and we head into the 9th. 2-run game, runner aboard, and another stolen base for Ha-Sung Kim. Nice day for him on the base paths. Manny Machado, 3-2. He'll take the changeup low. Colomé getting into trouble. I feel like every outing he ends up having like 25, 30 pitches, and he gives up the base hit. Kim scores 4-1 San Diego, but would they even need that insurance? Bottom 9, 2 down. Connor Joe just taps it back to Keone Kela, and this game is over. The Padres easily win Game 1 behind a fantastic pitching effort, and the Rockies' offense just didn't look like themselves. We've come to know them as a very explosive team this year. They're toward the top of the charts in doubles and home runs, but only managed 4 hits in a game where, you know, if you hold a good team like the Padres to 4 runs, you better be competitive because they're going to score a few against you in most cases. So a pretty frustrating game here. We didn't even strike out that much. We just could not find open space in the field. So we move on from Game 1's defeat and ahead to Game 2. Whenever we have a bad game like that, I like to go into player lock with one of our star players and just try to fix things. David Geronimo in the first, it's down in right center field. Geronimo hustles into second. We've been one of the best teams in the National League at getting doubles, second behind the LA Dodgers. Here is Rafi Devers, 1-2, and he pulls it to first base, and Eric Hosmer makes the play. Now the Padres already scored in the first and tacked on a few more later. A chance to really break the game open. Bases loaded, fly ball into left. Geronimo able to make the catch, but this team needs some runs. In the 6th inning, we still haven't found any, and it's 5-0. Runner at first. Ooh, swung at ball 4. Full count, David Geronimo. And a cold strike 3. It's definitely low, and Chris Paddock gets the call in the 8th inning. 0-2. I guess the umpire's consistent at least. Another one that usually doesn't get the call. And the Padres win the first 2, holding us to just a couple of runs. It's not looking good for us against the top teams here in the National League. And somebody put it so well in the comments last episode that We look like a team that's made so much progress, but when you just compare us to the teams in our division, it doesn't really feel like it. We have not been competitive against the Dodgers or the Padres. But in Game 3, Colorado opens up with 3 first-inning home runs against Blake Snell. Ty France tries to make it 4, is unable to do so, and the Rockies go off for a huge day of offense. Didn't get much here in player lock with Ty France going 0 for 5, but the score speaks for itself. 12-1 is your final. Good response after dropping the first 2 with little to no offense. Would like to spread these 12 runs out to the other games, but we'll take it. We end up with home runs from Brian Reynolds. He hit 2, Brandon Nimmo, Trey Turner, and Dom Nunez. And we crack 3 more doubles as well. Taking us into Game 4 with a chance to at least split the series here. And I was hoping that we would at least be able to do that in a 4-game set. Like, we're still behind the Dodgers and the Padres, but if we can just hold our ground against them the rest of the way, I want the rest of the games to decide what happens to this team. Top of the first, Ha-Sung Kim strikes out. It's Yonny Chirinos taking the mound, and in the previous video, he was actually coming off a pretty bad start. And Eric Hosmer absolutely crushes one to deep right field. Chirinos missed with the splitter, and the Padres end up scoring in the first inning in 3 out of these 4 games. They hand off the lead to Dinelson Lamet, who's given up a pretty high whip this year, but has a low ERA. And Brandon Nimmo turns on a pitch and ties it at 1, matching the solo shot hit by Eric Hosmer. There's number 16. Continuing with Rafael Devers, 1-2 count. That's drilled back up the middle, and a nice grab made by Tatis. Just takes it out of the air with a leaping catch. We'll go top of the second. Full count here. This is Nomar Mazara. And the slider called the ball. Pretty good pitch where I wanted it. Next up, Grisham, base hit. Hit hard the other way. 2-on for the Padres. Chirinos getting into trouble early for the second consecutive start. Full count to Austin Nola, and that's a called strike 3. Nola can't believe it, but it was a great pitch. 2 down, we get to face Dinelson Lamet, and it's popped up behind first base and down for a hit. Lamet brings home a run. He wants second base and is thrown out. But San Diego scores again thanks to Dinelson Lamet. They go up 2-1. Bottom of the second, Connor Joe opens with a leadoff walk. 2 batters later, Dom Nunez. High drive, drilled to center, back at the wall, and Nunez takes it out of here for the 2nd straight day. It's his 8th of the year. You can't overlook Dom Nunez and his impact at the plate. He's hitting .265 this year. Colorado pulls ahead 3-2. Both teams score in the first 2 innings. How long do we see the starting pitchers? Good double play turned here for Yonny Chirinos. Now he faces Fernando Tatis Jr. Starts with a good pitch on the outside corner. And got him out in front of the slider. 0-2. What an at-bat for Chirinos. 3 perfect pitches and finally a 0. Lamet following ahead of Nimmo, and that's a foul tip held on to by Nola. Didn't realize, too, he actually kind of shows it to the umpire there. Later in the inning, 1 on, and Ty France with a 2-2 count. Lamet strikes him out with a good slider. We saw the offenses quiet down a little after those first 2 innings. In the 4th, it's Mazara. Chirinos getting ahead, and he chases one high. Fastball gets strike 3. Rebounding from the rough start, how deep could Chirinos go in this game? Top of the 5th, Trent Grisham takes off for second base and is in safely with nobody down. Austin Nola with a 1-2 count. Hits a line drive into center field, and Grisham scores easily. And the Padres have tied the game. Pitch count into the 70s now for Chirinos, facing Ha-Sung Kim. Ground ball to the right side. Solak pulls France away from the first base bag, and that's an error. Runners at the corners, one down. San Diego looking for more. And it's Eric Hosmer who homered earlier, 2-2. Got him out in front. Big slider for Chirinos, his 5th strikeout. And again, it comes down to Tatis. Grounds it to first base, easy play. I considered walking him there to face Machado, but felt like it'd be a tough matchup regardless. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Lamet with a 3-1 count gives up the base hit to Brandon Nimmo. Now facing Geronimo, this one gets away from Nola, and Nimmo takes second base. Rockies trying to get something going with 2 down. And that's a walk for Geronimo. Takes the pitch that could have gone either way. And here's Rafael Devers, who's had a quiet episode to this point. But Lamet falls behind. Here is the 2-0. There's a drive, hit deep to right field, and Rafael Devers delivers again, a 3-run blast. And the Rockies take a 3-run lead on the 27th hit by Devers this season. I still feel like 40 is within reach. Might have to get hot in September, but he's been incredible, including the walk-off last episode. Up by 3, I feel comfortable handing the game over to Jordan Holloway, who gets the ground ball from Machado, and there's a quick out. Next up, Alex Dickerson, 1-2. Chasing the changeup. Holloway picks up the strikeout and has a really good 6th inning. Rockies up by 3. You never know if you'll need more. There's a hit into right center field. Connor Joe with a single. Dom Thompson-Williams jammed, and that's going to land in left field. We get super lucky. I haven't had too many like that in this game. 2-1. Let's bunt him into scoring position. Or not. Didn't work. That brings up Nick Solak 0-for-2. And it's left up and hit deep to left center field. Back it goes, and that one's out of here. A 3-run homer for Solak. The game is broken open. Rockies up by 6. I remember checking the stats beforehand, and Adrian Morejon hadn't given up much with the Padres this season. So nice to get the 3-run homer off of him. And in the 7th, here's France with a deep double the other way. Connor Joe's up next. And that's drilled to left center field. That's down for extra bases. It wouldn't be a full episode here if we didn't have a couple doubles with Connor Joe. 10-3. I was content to let Holloway basically pitch the rest of the game, give everybody else a rest. I think that's just as important as a long relief pitcher coming in after a starter gets taken out after 2 innings. But it feels every game he's out there, he's given up one of these home runs. He has the highest whip allowed, I believe, on the team. And his ERA isn't anything special. He's not going to get a lot of high leverage innings or anything where the game is close. This is the perfect game for him. But in the bottom of the 8th inning, Nunez hits a double. And Colton Welker skies one to left center field. And that's down. A ground rule double and a run batted in. Rockies up by 6, and back-to-back games, they score double digits. Top of the 9th, Michael Givens trying to end things. He faces Mazzara, a player I tried to sign a couple off seasons ago, and he strikes him out with the changeup away. Austin Nola with 2 down. Givens gets ahead, and eventually the count goes full, but this ends with a Michael Givens strikeout. And the Rockies do end up getting the split. And the 2 wins we got were very impressive. That's the kind of offense we need against some of these top-tier teams. And we can do this against anybody. I know this team has what it takes to finally get to the playoffs for the first time in this franchise. Now, I don't think I've talked about this a lot in the actual episodes, but don't worry about like the release of MLB 22 and what that means for the future of this series. If they bring back year-to-year saves, the Rockies are going into the new version of the show. If they don't, I still plan to continue the game with this franchise and not start something brand new. We have a long way to go still with Colorado, I'm aware of that. And there's no way I want to cut it short just because a new game is coming out. I was fortunate to take the Twins into like 3 versions of the show, but they took out year-to-year saves with the move to PlayStation 5, and I really hope it's reintroduced this year. I honestly don't have the highest hopes because they're basically radio silent on franchise mode. I'm not even sure they would have done this, but I really hope they did because it was a necessary feature for a game with a franchise mode as time-consuming as baseball is. But that is going to bring us to the end of the episode. Still a couple game lead here in the wild card, and now we've gotten through this 2-week gauntlet. Unfortunately, I think we only went like 5-8 in those games, so we didn't win it. We still got to do a lot better against tough competition, but we should have some easier games coming up, and I hope you're looking forward to the next one. Please leave your feedback down below in the comment section. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And the Rockies will be back again soon. Have a great day, everybody.